you sure if I push this button and not that one, the science project's gonna work right this time?
I am Nick.
Wait, what?
Good morning, students. Welcome to school. Remember, the thought of the day is... And you're a warrior.
Noble warrior hero.
Hey, welcome to Neekology 101, the study of the nerd and geek in their natural habitat. I'm Gary.
It's Rudy.
And I'm Ron.
And we are the Knights who say... Neek! That's right. Hey, well, back to Marvel Land today. Marvelous Marvel Land. We're looking at Captain Marvel, which they work, they fit together.
We've been talking about Captain Marvel as, something that's seems like it's so far away. And we're looking at a calendar. I was like, holy cow.
Is it March?
It's in March.
What?
March 8th.
All right. Right after my birthday. There you go. I'll remember that one. March. A lot of things coming in spring. So there you go.
Yeah, we meant to put it right there. So happy birthday.
Hey, thanks. There you go. She's coming out for your birthday. It came up on us quick. There you go. But we've had how many trailers now? This third one that just came out? Or?
Yeah, there was. I don't think there was a short preview, like a teaser, but we had a full trailer, and then a second, and then kind of a. I think it just came out not too long ago on Monday Night Football, or whatever, where they're kind of doing little interviews and kind of, backstories and stuff like that. Kind of a short how it's made. So
very good.
Yeah, so Marvel's kind of really gearing up right now to, and I think I'm pretty sure that they'll buy some space during the Super Bowl to probably do that too.
Right.
Either Captain Marvel or Avengers Endgame.
Ah, yes.
So yeah, we'll see some more content between now and March 8th.
Good. Now, we did talk to her before. This takes place in the 90s, right?
Right.
When she's back to Earth. We do know that we know that she's not on Earth during Avengers because that's what Nick Fury does, is calls her. So we know she's gone somewhere, right? So something's happened to Cap Marvel and she's coming back. That's the gist, I'm thinking, right?
What do they want?
That's what I'm here to find out.
Yeah, we kind of get a little origin story for Carol Danvers and also an origin story for Sam Jackson's
Patch.
character. Yeah.
And lack of hair.
Patch Adams.
There you go. So
Nick Fury. So we'll get to we'll get a little backstory from him too.
Nice.
Because it sounds like he's kind of doing a little Lethal Weapon where he's days from kind of calling it quits and retirement, and all of a sudden things get a little exciting on planet
I ain't
Earth.
retired now.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm too old for this, Riggs.
Oh my gosh, so funny. He got his second win, man. Lost an eye in the process, but he got a second win.
Yeah, in this last trailer, we kind of see that he's kind of developing the foundation for Shield. So
War is coming. You can't do this alone.
So yeah, it'll be really cool.
How did he lose his eye?
Oh,
do we know how he lost
yeah, we
his
do,
eye?
I think. But it was from the second Captain America.
He was pretty vague in Winter Soldier, where he said that the last person that he trusted, I lost an eye.
See, I was just assuming
it was Robert Redford.
I assumed he just got a BB gun with a compass in the stock and this thing that tells time when he was a little kid.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Which we, with him saying that in Winter Soldier, we kind of piece things together because we have the Skrulls in this movie, which are shapeshifters.
Yes.
So Skrulls are the bad guys.
They're shapeshifters.
And then there's this age-old war between the Kree and the Skrulls.
Yes.
So the Skrulls are coming to Earth. And it kind of opens to an even bigger story of Secret Invasion where in the comics we find out that, big components of the Avengers were Skrulls the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
At least that's how Captain America was.
So it'd be really hard for them to do kind of a full Secret Invasion. Maybe we'll get kind of a piece of it and kind of big, government entities here and there that have been Skrulls the whole time.
So what exactly is a Skrull's role?
Skrull. A Skrull, right?
Skrull. Oh, a
Skrull. Skrull.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Because I don't know that.
Here we go.
Well, it's just
educate you.
It's just the alien race that kind of wants to expand and dominance. And
Are they
all
the
this.
reptile-looking ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
and then the shapeshift turn any way they want to.
Oh, really?
So they can be anybody. So
Mm-hmm.
there you go.
So that's what you see in the trailer, that she smiles at an old lady, and all of a sudden she just cold cocks her and just punches her across the face, and then it's just kind of a funny glimpse in the first trailer, but in this this third one that just came out, you see this elderly woman just doing cartwheels and fighting with Carol Danvers. You're like, oh, that's a Skrull.
Wow.
Hey, you know what's funny about that? Here's a little thing. I don't know why it came to my mind, but I'll tell you. My daughter, this time, I have to put this in her. My daughter did this piece correctly.
Here we
Oh
go.
my God, Gary can't get it out of it.
The train just came off the track.
Oh, and it's my fault this time. Anyways, no, they did this piece. My daughter's, and help me out here. Anyways, she did this piece. It was called. They did a dance. It was on a subway, right?
God, I hope this is funny.
It better be.
It will be funny. I'm picturing my daughter doing this. They had this piece where they were doing a dance. It was on a subway, and all these people were, whatever. And the music came on, and all connected them, right? Well, Autumn played this old lady, and she got into this thing, and she did a bunch of whatever, and that made me think of my daughter. Because that would be funny. Sorry, Autumn, but I'm going to think of you when I see that old lady going, hey, that's Autumn could have done that part. Because she plays a pretty good old lady. It's got some funky grooves.
It's kind of like a
Sorry,
version
Rudy.
of, remember those old Six Flags Magic Mountain commercials
yeah.
where that old man-
I've been accused. Noah looked at that first time on TV and he goes, "Dad, that's you."
Oh my gosh, something tells me it's going to pop up here. And
This bus showed up. And out stepped that old guy.
keep track of our time very well, but that's okay.
It's all right.
Old man.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Old man dancing. Okay.
So yeah, we get let's see where we leave off. The Skrulls. So we were talking about him losing an eye.
Yes.
Meaning
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury. Mm-hmm. And looking into the casting, we have Ben Mendelsohn. Who's in this movie, and the last time we seen him was Ready Player One. He was in Rogue One.
He was he played the main baddie in that one too. Yep.
Yeah, but for both of them.
That's right.
Yeah, so he's gonna be playing the head Skrull who's been on Earth for many years, kind of doing recon and either planning to take over Earth or whatever. But I think he's working close.
He likes that job.
He's playing the character Talos, and he's working close with Nick Fury. So maybe that's kind of connects to that reference when he says in Winter Soldier that the last person that he trusted, he lost an eye.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Makes
And
sense.
you find out the whole time he was an alien.
Makes sense.
Rudy should be like a consultant for some of these things, just to make sure that you have the fans' perspective on it.
Yeah, and he does that. He does that so well.
Because it seems like sometimes they don't. That's the smartest thing you should do is get a fan consultant.
Well, I think they have that. I mean,
they just don't. They don't go with it.
Yeah, I guess it all depends. And and sometimes when we were talking DC earlier,
mm-hmm.
You hear the fans' perspective on what they should do with the DC universe, and how fans want stability and they want
mm-hmm.
Certain things to happen, and you always wonder, is DC listening to this, or are they just gonna go on and do their own thing? So
well, and we've talked about this before, and now, anyways, I'm not gonna tell you guys, but trying to get my master's done, so my brain's not totally here, but our plans are to get the fans, get them connected, right? Our free fan forever stuff, and find out what's going on, and maybe be part of, at least put stuff out there, tell people what people are thinking, and in a good way, right? Some good positive feedback, because you've got enough negative junk. But we're looking at all the good things that are happening, and you hope Marvel and DC are listening. We'll see who's out there, right? So,
yeah,
but
and we got a solid cast in this movie too.
Yeah.
And the big question mark that Marvel's kind of juggling here and there with the toys always come out before the movie,
right?
And sometimes the toys will kind of give you a glimpse of who the characters are,
What
or
did
what's
you buy,
happening,
Rudy? What did you buy?
like the Lego sets. And so they had two versions of Jude Law's character, which for the longest time we knew that he was going to play Captain Marvel.
Ah.
So he's the you know, kind of the hero of the Kree army and the Kree race. Marvel. So there was a Captain Marvel. And so there was I think it was one of those pop figures. Mm-hmm. So they had a Marvel character, but then they had a Jan Rog character, and it was Jude Law. So there was it's kind of up in the air of, well, is he going to play Jan Rog, who's a big villain in Captain Marvel series, and he was the one that kind of created the Psyche Magnetron machine that gave Carol Danvers her powers.
Wow!
So it instills Kree powers into Gene and powers into humanoids, and so that's what gave him the power. So there might be kind of a flip in that character where he's either pretending to be Marvel or kind of having that pseudonym, but he's actually Jan Rog and has kind of a deeper role.
Know your enemy.
Maybe he's really a Skrull and he invaded and then he's pretending somebody else.
Yeah.
You never know.
And we also have
now we know speak Skrull.
Lee Pace is back as Ronan the Accuser.
They call me terrorist, radical, zealot, because I obey the ancient laws of my people, the Kree.
Oh yeah.
When you're talking about,
he's a Kree too, right?
Wasn't so and so Kree? Yeah.
Yeah. So he's gonna be back.
Yeah. So Ronan's gonna be back, and Ronan and Jan Rog kind of have that relationship too, and it'll kind of, hopefully they'll get some more story and more information about Ronan the Accuser, because I think that was kind of one of the cons in the first. One of the few cons in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie was, you know, Ronan didn't have that backstory and didn't have that much character development, other than the fact that he was.
He's a rebel of the Kree, right? He's not. He doesn't follow their.
Well, he's considered a purist. So the Kree have kind of made alliances and kind of settled down, but he's the guy that remembers all the bad stuff and wants to kind of dwell in that.
And so let me ask a question. So what I'm looking at from outside perspective is that it looks like the Kree, because I'm guessing if he's a purist, that there's a Kree race and that the other Kree are like bringing other people into their race. Is that what's happening too, and giving them abilities? Or?
Oh yeah, because like any alien race, there's some of them that think that they're the more superior race. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of
because we know a lot of alien races.
Yeah, let's make all of them Kree,
right?
That kind of deal, or instill the Kree, way of life.
So it's very Borg-like. Let's make you a Kree. You're a Kree. You're a Kree. Would you like to be a Kree like me?
Doesn't this remind you of Wonder Bread?
That cup?
No, I was gonna say Twister.
Remember Wonder Bread?
Ron's holding up a cup with multiple colors. You could be either one. There you go. Is that some? That's another sponsor.
And then, and with Ronan the Accuser, we have Corinth, who was his second in command in Guardians. He's going to be in there too.
Oh, God, remember him?
Yeah.
Is that before he's got a cyborg imprint? So, that same guy?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. We'll get more run-in time with these guys, and we see the ending. Now we see where it starts. That's pretty cool. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, and then in the new trailer, we kind of see Marvel or Jan Rog kind of training Carol into how to use her powers. So there's kind of a moment where she doesn't have a whole lot of memory of her past. It might be from the side effects of the Psyche Magnetron, and it's kind of a brainwash deal. So he's kind of training her how to use her powers and how to be, this Kree officer. They're kind of in an elite force. So it's kind of like a special teams for the, from the Kree
forces,
army.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And you kind of see some of that brainwashing where Nick Fury's talking to Carol Danvers.
Excuse me, miss. Why are you dressed for laser tag?
Oh boy, you guys don't have any clue, do you?
About he's saying so it's a race of superheroes, and she says something like I don't know, she kind of adds on to it, to kind of adding building up the Kree. So there's kind of somewhat of a brainwash deal, and that she's not getting all the information that she's supposed to. So that's kind of the bad side of her upbringing, from the Kree army.
Now the Kree and Skrull, they're fighting, but they're not necessarily good in themselves at all.
Yeah.
So we're just caught in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. I gotcha. Yeah, it's interesting when you get different factions of, well, I wouldn't say bad guys, but two opposing races, and it's like, who's doing the right thing in this situation? Which sounds like what they're trying to do, maybe. They're more like peacekeepers, right? Mm-hmm. Make sure everybody's safe. Yeah.
And then Clark Gregg is back in it as Phil Coulson, so we get to see Phil Coulson again.
Okay, very good.
I get to see a young Phil Coulson. He died in the first Avengers movie.
Agent Coulson.
That's who that is.
Yeah, Agent Coulson. Yeah.
Train's heading for a tunnel up ahead.
Who was ended up being on the Shield series. Yeah. So he's there as kind of starting off.
He'd be young at this point too.
Oh yeah,
he was the first connection to Shield that we saw, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a connector of all the backstories.
Yeah.
He's on the good side and Thanos on the bad side.
Yeah. So I think him and Nick will have this commonality on
your picture.
Yeah, I had to have this commonality of thinking that there's more outside of this world. Mm-hmm. Now that Carol's comes in from space.
Oh.
That's where they start to build that relationship. Well, what if there's more? Like, should we be prepared for it? So I think that's kind of that foundation of Shield.
Sure. Well, they started they had Captain America, and they had that whole run in probably in the 50s, whatever things were going on. Mm-hmm. And then bam, there you go. The 90s, it flipped up there. So they got a bigger, that's what he said. He goes, it's a bigger world. You just haven't seen it yet. That line he told Tony Stark.
How did Shield get all that tick? Is it Tony Stark that helped them get that going?
His dad.
Well, Howard Stark was one of the founders of Shield.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, if you saw Ant-Man had some of that, showed them a little later on, with how am I thinking of Hank Pym, and you see some of that. You see,
because Shield was established a long time ago, and I don't know if because Nick Fury's talking about leaving, and I don't know if he's in Shield already or if kind of things got boring for him, and all of a sudden, boom, we have people coming from space that he starts to gain interest back and starts developing kind of his own branch of Shield.
That might be what it is.
It was better than a Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
yes, we vote for that.
Yeah, so it'll be good. So we have that that connective scene from Infinity War, and we should have something at the end that kind of comes back to Avengers Endgame, which comes out in a couple months after that.
Yeah, sounds good. Which we'll talk about really soon.
Yeah,
good stuff, man. I think this is a nice little get us ready, and she's kind of a bridge between, because I think she will be in Endgame, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's coming in quick. She's coming in like a
is
like a photon blast.
Photon blast.
Iron Man, Robert Downey, is he going to be continuing to do his character?
We'll talk about that next.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, with this movie, we can say that Sam Jackson had that huge 9 movie contract with Marvel. Wow. This is his 9th movie.
Oh wow.
So we'll see what he does after that. If he does the whole Robert Downey thing where it's just kind of based on per movie, or if he signs up for another big deal, who knows? Yeah. But this is the last of his big contract.
Wow. There you go. We'll
Endgame.
Endgame for everybody.
That's interesting.
Yeah, very good.
Should be good.
And there you go. Well, I'm so Gary.
Still Rudy.
Still Ron.
And class is dismissed.
I'm done with you telling me what I can't do.
Got to show these boys how we do it. You ready?
Higher, further, faster, baby. Yes,
a lot of fans want you to play Captain Marvel when
isn't that a boy?
It's supposed to be the first female-led
the first female?
Yeah, I mean...
So would I be playing a man?
No, a woman. Captain Marvel.
I was like, this is interesting. I'm kind of into it.
Hey, thanks for joining a class at Necology 101. You can always find us on Podbean, which you can download for free through the iTunes, Android, and Google stores. Or we're now on Spotify. And guess what? We're also on YouTube. Be sure to hit subscribe to stay up to date on all our new episodes.
If you want to learn about God Among Geeks and what we do here, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also check us out on our blog at GodAmongGeeks316.com.
and please feel free to email us at 4bearproductions@gmail.com. We love to hear your thoughts because we are the Knights Who Say, Nick!